Imagine a world where every action you take unravels itself before your eyes. A place where broken glass repairs itself, footprints vanish as you step forward, and memories become prophecies. This isn't just science fiction, it's real. Scientists have discovered a planet unlike any other, one where time flows backward. But what happens when humanity tries to understand it? What secrets does this enigmatic world hold? And most importantly, will we survive long enough to find out? Stay tuned for a journey beyond imagination, and don't forget to subscribe if you're ready to explore the ultimate mystery. The year was 2347 when astronomers first detected anomalies emanating from a distant star system. At first, they thought it was interference caused by cosmic radiation or equipment malfunction. Yet, as more data poured in, patterns emerged that defied all known laws of physics. It wasn't until deep space probes were sent into the region that scientists realized they had stumbled upon something extraordinary, a planet orbiting its sun in reverse. Not only did its rotation defy logic, but everything on its surface seemed to operate under inverted temporal mechanics. Objects moved backward, energy flowed in reverse, and even biological processes appeared to regress rather than progress. News spread quickly across Earth's colonies, sparking debates among physicists, philosophers, and conspiracy theorists alike. Could such a phenomenon exist naturally, or was it engineered by some ancient civilization? Whatever the truth might be, one thing was certain: this discovery would change humanity forever. Rumors began circulating about the implications of such a find. Some speculated that this planet could hold the key to immortality, while others feared it might be a trap set by an advanced extraterrestrial race. Religious groups interpreted the discovery as divine intervention, claiming it was evidence of a higher power manipulating the fabric of reality. Meanwhile, governments scrambled to secure funding for expeditions, knowing that whoever reached the planet first would gain unparalleled technological advantages. The scientific community debated whether sending humans to such an unpredictable environment was ethical, given the potential risks. Yet, the allure of unraveling one of the universe's greatest mysteries proved irresistible. Plans were drawn up, resources allocated, and volunteers sought, all in preparation for humanity's boldest mission yet. As soon as the findings were confirmed, governments scrambled to assemble an expedition team capable of handling the unprecedented challenges posed by the mysterious planet. Dubbed Kronos 7, the mission required individuals who weren't just brilliant but adaptable, resilient, and willing to face the unimaginable. Engineers designed specialized suits equipped with adaptive technology meant to shield against unpredictable environmental shifts. These suits also included neural interfaces capable of recording sensory input in case human perception failed amidst the disorienting effects of reverse time. Meanwhile, researchers worked tirelessly to develop tools that could function independently of conventional causality. Devices powered by quantum entanglement promised stability in a realm where cause and effect no longer followed familiar rules. Despite these preparations, doubts lingered. No amount of training could fully prepare anyone for stepping onto a world where time itself rebelled against nature. Still, the allure of unraveling one of the universe's greatest mysteries proved irresistible. Psychologists were brought in to evaluate the mental fortitude of potential candidates, recognizing that the psychological strain of living in a backward-flowing timeline could break even the strongest minds. Simulations attempted to replicate the conditions expected on Kronos 7, exposing participants to scenarios where actions had inverse consequences. For example, lighting a match might extinguish nearby flames, or speaking aloud could erase words already formed. These exercises pushed many to their limits, forcing them to confront fears they never knew they had. As launch day approached, the chosen crew underwent final briefings. Each member acutely aware of the monumental responsibility resting on their shoulders. They were not merely explorers. They were pioneers venturing into uncharted territory, carrying the hopes and dreams of billions. When the ship finally descended through the planet's thick atmosphere, the crew was met with scenes so surreal they bordered on hallucination. Rivers flowed uphill, raindrops rose skyward, and leaves detached themselves from branches only to reattach moments later. Even gravity seemed distorted, pulling objects upward instead of down in certain areas. As the explorers stepped onto the surface, their boots left imprints that immediately began erasing themselves. Every movement felt wrong, as though reality itself resisted their presence. Instruments malfunctioned sporadically, readings fluctuating wildly between coherent data and nonsensical noise. The air carried a strange hum, almost imperceptible yet omnipresent, as if the very fabric of existence groaned under the strain of operating in reverse. Despite the chaos, there was an undeniable beauty to the scene, a haunting reminder that the universe held wonders far beyond human comprehension. Each member of the team knew they stood on the precipice of either monumental discovery or catastrophic failure. The initial hours were spent acclimating to the disorienting environment. Simple tasks like eating or drinking became exercises in patience and precision. Drinking water, for instance, required careful coordination to prevent liquid from flowing back into containers before reaching mouths. Conversations often devolved into confusion as speakers found themselves interrupting replies before questions were asked. Yet, amidst the chaos, small victories emerged. One scientist managed to plant a flag marking their landing site, only to watch it unplanned itself seconds later. Though frustrating, these experiences provided valuable insights into how matter behaved under reverse temporal mechanics. Slowly, the crew began adapting, learning to navigate a world where intuition was their greatest enemy. Exploration revealed remnants of structures scattered across the landscape, their designs both alien and eerily familiar. Buildings seemed to grow smaller over time, their materials dismantling themselves piece by piece. Strange machines hummed quietly nearby, performing tasks in reverse sequence, tools assembling components that then disassembled again. Most unsettling were the creatures inhabiting the planet. They moved fluidly, almost gracefully, yet always in reverse motion. Birds flew backward, wings flapping in a rhythm that defied logic. Predators hunted prey by unkilling them, wounds closing as life returned to bodies. Observing these phenomena forced the crew to confront questions about free will, destiny, and the nature of consciousness. Were these beings aware of their inverted existence, or did they perceive time differently altogether? Perhaps intelligence didn't rely on linear progression after all. The implications were staggering, reshaping not just how humans understood this planet, but how they viewed their own reality. One particularly memorable encounter involved a pack of quadrupedal creatures resembling wolves. Their movements suggested predatory instincts, yet their actions unfolded in reverse. Instead of chasing down prey, they approached carcasses lying motionless on the ground. Bite marks healed as flesh reattached, bones knitting together seamlessly until the victim sprang to life, fleeing into the distance. Watching this spectacle left the crew awestruck, struggling to reconcile what they saw with their understanding of biology and behavior. Hypotheses abounded. Perhaps these creatures existed in harmony with their environment, their lives dictated by cycles of creation and destruction. Or maybe they were trapped in an endless loop, doomed to repeat the same moments ad infinitum. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear: their existence challenged everything humanity thought it knew about life. Days turned into weeks, or perhaps it was the opposite, as the team delved deeper into Chronos 7's mysteries. Each experiment brought new revelations, many of which contradicted established scientific principles. For instance, attempts to plant seeds resulted in plants shrinking back into seeds before disappearing entirely. Lighting fires produced flames that consumed heat instead of releasing it, leaving the surrounding area colder than before combustion. Communication became increasingly difficult. Messages sent via radio waves arrived fragmented and jumbled, arriving before being transmitted. Worse still, prolonged exposure to the environment began affecting the crew physically. Some reported experiencing déjà vu-like sensations constantly, while others claimed memories of future events surfaced without warning. One scientist theorized that extended interaction with reverse time could collapse personal timelines altogether, erasing individuals from existence as if they'd never been born. Fear crept into the hearts of even the bravest members of the mission. Yet, alongside fear came fascination. The crew began documenting instances of temporal anomalies occurring spontaneously around them. A drop tool might hover momentarily before flying back into someone's hand. Footsteps erased themselves instantly, leaving trails that vanished faster than they formed. These occurrences hinted at underlying mechanisms governing the planet's behavior, mechanisms that, if understood, could unlock untold possibilities. Speculation ran rampant about harnessing these properties for practical applications. Imagine vehicles that repaired themselves instantaneously or medical treatments reversing aging and disease. Such innovations seemed tantalizingly close, yet remained frustratingly out of reach. The challenge lay not just in decoding the planet's secrets, but in surviving long enough to do so. As the team continued their exploration, they stumbled upon phenomena that defied not just logic but causality itself. Simple actions led to outcomes so convoluted that tracing their origins became nearly impossible. For example, one scientist attempted to measure the temperature of a nearby stream using a handheld device. Instead of registering data, the device emitted a burst of energy that caused the water to freeze, only for the eyes to melt backward into liquid moments later. This sequence repeated endlessly, leaving the crew baffled and questioning whether their tools were influencing reality or merely reflecting its inherent chaos. The psychological toll deepened as the crew realized that even their thoughts seemed subject to reversal. Ideas formed in their minds only to dissolve before they could articulate them. Conversations often ended with participants forgetting what they had intended to say, leaving awkward silences punctuated by frustrated sighs. Some began experiencing vivid dreams, or perhaps memories, of events that hadn't yet occurred. These visions felt disturbingly real, blurring the line between prophecy and imagination. One crew member reported seeing themselves standing atop a cliff overlooking an ocean of liquid light, waving goodbye to someone unseen. Days later, they found themselves at that exact location, fulfilling the eerie premonition. Such experiences left the team grappling with existential dread, unsure whether they controlled their own fates or were merely actors in a script written long ago. During a routine survey of a rocky plateau, the crew discovered something that would change everything, an artifact unlike anything they'd encountered before. It was a crystalline structure, roughly the size of a human torso, pulsating with an inner light that shifted colors and rhythmic patterns. Its surface bore intricate carvings resembling mathematical equations, though none corresponded to any known system of numerology. Touching the artifact elicited overwhelming sensations, a flood of images, sounds, and emotions that overwhelmed the senses. Visions of civilizations rising and falling played out in reverse, accompanied by a haunting melody that resonated deep within the soul. Initial analysis suggested the artifact might serve as a key to understanding Chronos 7's temporal mechanics. Embedded within its lattice-like structure were traces of exotic particles theorized to exist only in higher dimensions. Could this object be responsible for the planet's reversed flow of time? Or was it merely a relic left behind by whatever intelligence had engineered this world? Theories abounded, but answers remained elusive. What was clear, however, was that tampering with the artifact carried immense risk. Preliminary tests revealed fluctuations in local space-time whenever the object was disturbed, hinting at latent power capable of catastrophic consequences if mishandled. Yet, curiosity outweighed caution. Humanity had come too far to turn back now. Living on Chronos 7 took a severe toll on mental health. Sleep cycles became erratic, dreams blending indistinguishably with waking life. Crew members frequently reported seeing events unfold twice, once in forward motion and once in reverse, creating cognitive dissonance that left them questioning which version was real. Conversations grew strained as participants struggled to differentiate between past, present, and future. Simple tasks became Herculean challenges due to the constant threat of unintended consequences. Dropping an item risked triggering a chain reaction that might erase hours of work, or worse, alter the timeline irreparably. Isolation compounded the problem. With communication delays rendering contact with Earth unreliable, the team felt increasingly cut off from humanity. Paranoia set in, fueled by whispers of unseen forces manipulating their actions. Some wondered whether the planet itself possessed sentience, subtly guiding their decisions towards some unknown endgame. Trust eroded rapidly, turning allies into strangers bound together only by shared desperation. Amidst growing tension, small acts of rebellion emerged. One crew member refused to follow protocol during an experiment, insisting that rules don't apply here. Another spent hours staring into the horizon, muttering about how the sky seemed to breathe. Despite efforts to maintain morale through group activities and structured routines, cracks widened daily. Leaders struggled to keep order, their authority undermined by collective unease. It became apparent that survival depended not just on physical endurance, but on preserving sanity in a realm where cause and effect danced unpredictably. Yet, even as despair loomed large, glimmers of hope persisted. Moments of clarity reminded the team why they had come: to push boundaries, challenge limits, and uncover truths hidden from ordinary eyes. Tensions reached a boiling point during a routine exploration mission. While studying a particularly active temporal anomaly, one scientist inadvertently triggered a cascade effect that erased several hours' worth of progress and nearly erased her colleague along with it. Panic erupted, accusations flying as everyone sought someone to blame. Arguments escalated into physical altercations, shattering what little camaraderie remained. Leadership faltered, orders ignored as individual survival instincts kicked in. Morale plummeted to rock bottom, threatening the mission's viability. Only sheer determination kept the remaining crew functional, driven by a mix of professional pride and fear of abandonment. Yet, beneath the surface, resentment simmered, poisoning relationships beyond repair. Each day felt longer than the last, stretched thin by the oppressive weight of living in perpetual contradiction. Escape seemed impossible, both literally and metaphorically. The planet had transformed from a source of wonder into a prison without walls. Desperation bred recklessness. Some crew members began experimenting recklessly with the artifact, ignoring warnings about potential dangers. Others hoarded supplies, fearing scarcity despite ample provisions. Rational thought gave way to primal instincts, reducing intelligent beings to creatures driven solely by fear and self-preservation. In this state of chaos, unity crumbled, replaced by fragmented factions vying for control over dwindling resources. Yet, amidst the turmoil, a kernel of resolve remained. Deep down, each member knew that failure wasn't an option, not when the secrets of eternity lay within reach. In the midst of despair, a startling hypothesis emerged. What if Kronos, 7 wasn't merely a natural oddity but a deliberate construct? Evidence pointed toward the possibility that the planet served as a repository of universal knowledge, preserving information encoded within its reversed flow of time. Just as rivers carved landscapes over millennia, so too might the planet encode wisdom accumulated over eons, waiting for sentient beings advanced enough to decode it. If true, the artifact found earlier might represent a key to unlocking this trove of insights. Testing this theory required accessing the core of the crystalline structure, believed to house the nexus of Kronos 7's temporal field. Doing so carried immense risk. Disrupting the artifact could destabilize the entire planet, or worse, unleash uncontrollable temporal energies capable of consuming entire star systems. Nevertheless, curiosity outweighed caution. Humanity had come too far to turn back now. The decision to proceed sparked heated debate among the crew. Some argued that tampering further with the artifact was suicidal, while others insisted it was their duty to uncover its secrets. Ultimately, consensus prevailed. The mission's purpose outweighed personal fears. Preparations began for what would likely be the most dangerous undertaking of their lives. Engineers rigged containment fields around the artifact, hoping to mitigate fallout should something go wrong. Scientists pored over data, searching for patterns that might offer clues about safe interaction methods. Meanwhile, psychologists worked overtime to prepare the team mentally, knowing that success depended as much on focus as on courage. As launch day approached, the air buzzed with anticipation mixed with dread. They were about to step into the unknown, armed with little more than hope and determination. Penetrating the artifact's core demanded meticulous planning and flawless execution. Layers of protective shielding surrounded the central chamber, each requiring precise manipulation to avoid triggering catastrophic reactions. Progress was agonizingly slow, every step fraught with peril. Instruments calibrated to operate within normal parameters failed repeatedly, forcing reliance on manual adjustments guided by intuition as much as intellect. Inside the core, the team encountered an awe-inspiring sight, a swirling vortex of light and shadow, pulsating with rhythmic intensity. Data streams flowed outward in perfect synchronization, encoding vast amounts of information into microscopic fluctuations. Decoding this torrent of data required merging human ingenuity with artificial intelligence, creating a hybrid system capable of processing multidimensional inputs simultaneously. Hours stretched into days as algorithms churned through incomprehensible volumes of raw data, searching for patterns hidden within the chaos. Slowly, fragments of understanding began to emerge, painting a picture of a cosmos far stranger and far more interconnected than anyone had imagined. Each breakthrough brought new questions. Was the artifact a map of the multiverse, charting infinite timelines branching endlessly across dimensions? Or was it a message from creators who had transcended physical existence, leaving behind breadcrumbs for those brave enough to follow? Whatever its purpose, one thing was certain. The artifact held keys to unlocking mysteries that could redefine humanity's place in the universe. Yet, extracting usable knowledge proved maddeningly difficult. Patterns shifted constantly, resisting attempts to pin them down. Frustration mounted as deadlines loomed, reminding everyone that time, however warped, was running out. Still, perseverance paid off. Bit by bit, pieces fell into place, revealing glimpses of truths that defied comprehension. The decoded information revealed glimpses of realities beyond comprehension. Entire universes existed simultaneously, each following its own unique temporal trajectory. Some progressed linearly, others spiraled cyclically, and still others operated according to principles utterly alien to human experience. Within this tapestry of existence, Chronos, 7 occupied a singular position, a fulcrum balancing countless timelines. Its purpose became clear: to preserve continuity across dimensions, ensuring stability amidst infinite variability. This revelation carried profound implications. By interacting with the planet, humanity risked disturbing delicate balances sustaining not just their own universe but countless others. Yet, abandoning the mission meant forfeiting access to knowledge capable of elevating civilization to heights previously inconceivable. Ethical dilemmas abounded. Should humanity prioritize self-preservation over potential advancement, or dare to embrace uncertainty in pursuit of enlightenment? Answers eluded easy grasp, leaving the crew grappling with existential quandaries that transcended mere survival. Among the revelations was a chilling discovery. Humanity's presence on Chronos 7 had already begun rippling outward, affecting timelines far beyond their scope of understanding. Small actions taken carelessly, dropping an instrument, stepping on a patch of moss, had cascaded into changes observable across neighboring dimensions. Some regions showed signs of collapse, timelines unraveling into voids of nothingness. Others exhibited accelerated evolution, civilizations springing up overnight only to vanish just as quickly. The realization weighed heavily on the team, burdening them with guilt and responsibility. Had they doomed countless worlds simply by existing here? Or was this interference inevitable, part of a larger design they couldn't yet comprehend? Questions swirled endlessly, offering no solace but fueling an insatiable hunger for answers. Facing mounting dangers, the decision was made to sacrifice portions of the team's equipment and possibly lives to stabilize the artifact. Volunteers stepped forward willingly, motivated less by bravery than resignation. Knowing full well the risks involved, they initiated protocols designed to contain temporal fluctuations threatening to spiral out of control. Explosions rocked the vicinity as containment fields activated, sealing off critical sections of the artifact. Radiation levels spiked dangerously high, forcing evacuations deeper underground. Casualties mounted, each loss weighing heavily on survivors' shoulders. Guilt mingled with grief, creating a toxic cocktail of emotions that gnawed at morale. Yet, amidst tragedy, hope flickered stubbornly. Data collection continued unabated, feeding insatiable algorithms hungry for answers. Despite setbacks, incremental progress persisted, bolstered by unwavering resolve. Humanity's thirst for knowledge refused to be quenched, even at great cost. One particularly harrowing incident involved a young engineer named Ria, who volunteered to manually recalibrate a failing containment unit. Her colleagues pleaded with her to reconsider, citing unacceptable risks. But Ria, driven by a sense of duty and perhaps a desire to leave a legacy, insisted she was prepared. Clad in reinforced armor, she ventured into the heart of the anomaly, battling waves of temporal distortion that threatened to tear her apart. For hours, she fought valiantly, stabilizing systems teetering on the brink of collapse. When she finally emerged, exhausted but triumphant, the crew erupted into cheers. Yet, days later, Ria vanished without a trace, her name etched forever into the annals of heroism. Stories like hers became rallying cries, inspiring others to persevere despite overwhelming odds. With core objectives partially achieved, preparations began for departure. Leaving Chronos 7 behind proved bittersweet. On one hand, escaping its suffocating grip offered relief. On the other, abandoning untapped potential felt like betrayal. Final scans captured breathtaking vistas of a world frozen in eternal paradox, a monument to humanity's fleeting encounter with infinity. As engines roared to life, propelling the ship skyward, crew members gazed longingly at the receding horizon, knowing they'd never return. Discussions turned introspective, reflecting on lessons learned and sacrifices endured. Questions lingered unanswered, echoing silently through corridors haunted by ghosts of decisions made and paths not taken. Would Earth welcome them as heroes or condemn them as reckless fools? Regardless, their journey had irrevocably altered perspectives, challenging fundamental assumptions about existence itself. Whatever awaited them next, they faced it changed forever. Back aboard the spacecraft, silence reigned supreme. Each member retreated inward, processing emotions too complex for words. Memories replayed endlessly, moments of triumph overshadowed by losses suffered along the way. Some clung to hope that their findings would usher in a new era of prosperity, while others feared humanity lacked the wisdom to wield such power responsibly. Either way, there was no denying the magnitude of what they had accomplished. Against all odds, they had ventured into the unknown and returned with treasures beyond measure. As stars streaked past windows, casting faint reflections on weary faces, one truth stood firm. Kronos, 7 had left an indelible mark on their souls, shaping destinies yet unwritten. Back on Earth, news of the mission reverberated globally, igniting debates spanning science, philosophy, and ethics. Data recovered from Kronos, 7 revolutionized multiple fields, spawning advancements previously deemed impossible. Medical breakthroughs enabled regeneration of damaged tissues, while engineering marvels introduced self-healing materials, transforming infrastructure worldwide. Yet, alongside triumph came controversy. Critics argued that humanity lacked maturity to wield such power responsibly, pointing to unintended side effects already manifesting. Others questioned whether meddling with time constituted hubris punishable by cosmic retribution. Amidst divided opinions, one truth remained undeniable. Kronos, 7 had opened doors humanity couldn't close again. Whether blessing or curse, its legacy endured, shaping destinies yet unwritten. And somewhere, light years away, the enigmatic planet continued spinning quietly, guardian of secrets waiting patiently for another curious soul bold enough to seek them. Don't miss our next adventure. Subscribe now to stay updated on the mysteries of the universe.